Inside the Broncos Media Center, catching up with John Elway just after the draft. John, did you feel like you addressed some needs in this year's draft?
We did. Feel really good about the guys we got. Obviously, they've got to prove that we're right in picking them, with the potential that we see in them, and also the type of people they are. So we're excited about it and looking forward to seeing them when they get on the field.
With the 20th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Noah Fant.
It all started with Noah Fant on day one. What kind of weapon do you think he'll be for Joe Flacco?
Well, he's just he's a big target that can really run, really get downfield. And anytime you can have a tight end, you get tremendous, mismatches, whether it be on a strong safety or a linebacker. And when you have a guy like Noah with that size and ability to run routes and run fast, really puts the pressure on the defense. And so he'll spread things out for everybody. And, it's going to help Joe out tremendously.
You talked a lot about getting consistency on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, Joe is the starter right now, but you bring in Drew Lock. What makes you confident that he'll be the guy for the future?
Well, I think it's a great situation for Drew to walk into because there's not a pressure for him to play it. I think a lot of times what ruins young quarterbacks is walking into a situation, the expectations are through the roof, and they got to get out there, and they're on a poor football team. Drew's walking into a great situation with Joe Flacco being the starter with the knowledge that he has. System, I think, is going to fit Drew well once he gets used to it. But, he's got a lot of things that he's got to get used to. He's in that spread offense in college. He was under center a little bit, but we're going to be under center more here. And so it's going to be a change. So the good thing is there's going to be no pressure on him to start day one, that, he's going to have a couple years to be able to, get used to things and get comfortable with the offense.
Is there a guy in the pros that he reminds you of right now?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if there's one that he reminds me of, but I just know that, arm talent-wise, in my opinion, he was as good coming out in this draft class, and he's athletic. He moves around very well, and he's got the right mentality of the quarterback. That's one thing I really liked when we met him is, the way he seems to have that it factor and the confidence factor that, a lot of times these great quarterbacks in the NFL have to have.
Playing QB is not easy in this town, mostly because of you, I guess.
It wasn't easy when I played it either. So I believe me, it's hard playing here. There's no question. And ultimately, Phil, it comes down to we got to win football games. All these different things help us get to where we need to go, but ultimately it's going to come down when we kick off in September. And, the new offensive staff we brought in, I'm real excited about. Rich Gangarella, as the offensive coordinator, Mike Munchak as O-line, the offensive line coach. And so those guys coming in, we feel really good about what the players are going to get exposed to and the opportunity that they're going to be given. That aspect, plus, Joe being the guy he is. He's a darn good quarterback. And I think if we continue to put good players around him, like we did with Noah, as well as trying to bolster the offensive line with Dalton Reisner, that, we're moving in a positive direction on the offensive side because we've struggled offensively the last couple of years. And so, as you just mentioned, we'd like to get a lot more, consistency on that side of the ball.
Once you get to day three, a lot of fans don't really are familiar with the guys. But is there a guy that you like that might surprise fans this season?
Well, I think that, Justin Hollins, who we picked up in the 5th round, is a guy that's, he's 6'5", 250 pounds, ran 4.5 at the combine. He's really long, had 8.5 sacks last year, and he has great versatility because he played inside and he also played outside linebacker. And so, he's a guy that has, tremendous upside is the way that we look at it. So we'll continue to train him. And then Juwan Winfrey, who we got in the 6th round from CU, we're excited about him. He, he got hurt last year, but really like his makeup, what his, physical tools, but also his makeup of, the way he goes about his business, competitive and tough. So, we feel good about everybody we got in this class.
Philip Lindsay give you any insight to him?
He didn't, but we had a lot of other people giving us insight that obviously with Matt Russell being a CU grad that knows a lot of people up there, and Juwan was getting rave reviews, so we moved up to get him.
A lot of hype around last year's draft class. How important is it to stack these draft classes back to back to back?
Well, it's really important, and I think that because that's the basis for your organization and long-term health of the organization as far as having success on the field, and so the more we can stack these drafts with the right kind of guys, right players that are able to make the big step from college football to the NFL and play well is very big. So, we feel like, so far so good. We'll see. Last year's class played very well for us, and we anticipate this class helping us out this year too.
All right, John, appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
You got it, Phil.